up, honey love? What's up, girl? What's up, love, honey love? I see you. What you doing, real Sonya? What's up, Sonya? Fat Mama Sonya. What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Fat Mama Sonya? What's up, Mayday? Lord Mayday. What's up, boy? What's up, Lord Mayday? What's up, my boy Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? What you say, Doc? It's my big boy, Doc. What you say? All right. Welcome back to another episode of Game Dog Talk. I'm here with Mr. Richard Garcia. How you doing today?
Doing good, thanks. How about you?
Real good, man. Just chilling. Always tired. Always grinding.
No, always. It's never ending.
Yeah, always, man. Crazy, man. But yeah, we got a few topics today. Questions. One of them came from some of the brothers, and the other ones came from questions people had about the dog. So we can kind of get right down to them. Let's see here. Get right. Oh, let me do a roll call real quick and shout out to the people in the chat. Let me see what we got here. Let's see here. Paris Jackson, what's happening, man? Black Swan, Miami Snoopy 305, AJ in the building, Mike Lee, Tony Gardner. Let's see here. Fat Farm Ray, Hardy Dogs, Pennsylvania. Let's see here. Rashawn Williams, Live Life Real. What's up, man? Stephen Lamontez Hawkins, Vernon Stone, Ezel Henry, City Boy Kennels, Kendrick Kennels. What's happening, man? Main Event Mark. What's up? Mark Casey in the building. Welcome down, Ram. Big Steppin'. Hop on in, Ram, when you get a chance. Von C. Main Event Mark. Let's see. Dan G. Tasha Brooks. What's happening? We got AJ. The lovely Brown Sugar Tay Brown up in here. We got Young World. City Boy Kennels. Gregorius. I always get that wrong, man. Gregorius Bulldogs. Salute, man. Philip Cunningham. Bank Statement Kennels. What's happening, man? FTB Kennels. Make the Fight. Kevin Porter. Let's see. Salute to the brother. Cano Loco Sports. Salute, man. In that super chat, he says salute to the almighty LDBC, number 289 in the building. Absolutely. Salute, bro. Let's see here. We got Smoke in the building. Trey Brown. Snacks Beat. Salute to Smooth Monty in the super chat, showing love early. Much love, much appreciation, man. Salute to you. Right, let's go and start. Let's start it on up. Crank it on up here. Right. So one question we got here, Mr. Garcia, is our colors, colors in the American Pit Bull Terrier, are they bloodline dependent? And another question was can any bloodline produce a red-nosed dog? Now these are questions. Just we know the answer to this.
Right. There's bloodlines or families of dogs that are known for a particular color, and if I'm wrong about this, but what I think they mean is can you follow the colors of bloodlines? Maybe that's I'm not accurate on that, but there are colors that like a lot of Eli dogs, they're black, or black and white, depending on how they're bred. Some of them you get that seal color and you get the grayish blue or whatever, But when you start seeing patterns in families of dogs, you can use it as sort of a to judge certain things in your dogs. You know, like for example, I just get to my dogs were mostly red and buckskin, and then I introduced black with the rascal stuff and the bully son, right? Even though there
Right.
was black back there, most of them were buckskin or red, right?
Right.
And I started seeing patterns in them. So the red ones were more of an all around athlete, you know. The buckskins one were the most intense, and they were also the most destructive. Those are the ones that would break their teeth and bite their houses and chains and all that.
Right.
The black ones were more of a serious type, and they were the harder biters overall, actually, right? So the colors, they can mean something if they follow a pattern. Most people say, which is true, color don't mean shit. But if you have a family of dogs that are a certain color, and then you concentrate on an individual, or you concentrate on certain individuals or that bloodline, they should start coming out, you know, predominantly that color,
Right. Right.
or whichever, I don't know, I'm not a geneticist, but I took a black male, right? Champion
Mm-hmm.
Ninja. He was black, his mama was black, she threw nothing but black dogs, right? I bred him to my bitch. She was a red dog. Her daddy was buckskin, her mama was red. So you would think that black would dominate. In that litter, I only got one black dog, and the rest were red and buckskin.
Wow.
So it could be just the it could be just that's how it turned out. It could be that those red and buckskin colors, because they were so dominant in my dogs already, this is after 4 or 5 generations, that
Right.
those colors came out. But yeah, there are colors that dominate a family of dogs. It depends on which ones you breed, and which ones take over. And just like a build, certain dogs are built a certain way, certain bloodlines, and you can tell, that's a Boleo dog, or that's a Mayday dog, or that's a Eli dog, or that's a Jeep dog, whatever. It's the same with colors. It can that those patterns can turn up that way.
Right. Right. So what
Now,
about? Oh, go ahead.
no, I was going to say, what's the second part? I forgot.
Yeah. It was. Can any bloodline of the American Pit Bull Terrier, can any line produce a red dog or red nosed dog?
Well, from what I understand, because red is it's a pigmentation deficiency, and it's a what do you call it? A
Recessive.
uh, what's that?
Recessive.
Yeah, recessive trait, right? If you inbreed, you know, to a certain extent, or just inbreed, then that red nose can come out. I don't know if that's true or not, but it seems that's the that's what can happen, you know.
Right. Right.
And even with some Eli dogs, that are mostly black, if you inbreed, you know, you can get red dogs out of them, red nose. One guy I know, he inbreed his dogs for 25 years, Eli dog. Real hard culling of them, real selective, because the numbers start to decrease when you start inbreeding your dogs too much. But
Right.
but every 4 or 5 generations, they would revert back to the uh, hunters hunter red,
Right.
which was he was a red. I don't know if he had a red nose. I think he had a black nose, but even through all that inbreeding, they would still hit that recessive trait of that dog, and they would come out, you know, not black and not short. They were more staffy looking, like the Long's Tuffy, Long's Baby, Satchmo Bully, and Hunter Red, like that.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I think if you inbreed enough, you'll get red nose.
Yeah. And then with most of the lines today, throughout the dogs' pedigrees, it's going to be red dogs back there somewhere. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
like so many dogs nowadays going to produce a red
yeah,
dog, but a lot of
yeah,
people think that a lot of people uh, who are new to the dogs, they think that if they see a dog that is a red nosed dog, they think that it's automatically an old family red nosed dog.
Yeah, no,
You
that's
know,
not true. No.
right,
If you're going to call them old family red nose, you know, all from my understanding, all old family red nose, just the name itself means that they're a red nosed dog, right?
right,
But all old family dogs are not red nose.
right,
You know, it's an Irish, you know, family of dogs, and they didn't necessarily, you know, not all of them were red nose. You know,
right,
and it's the same thing with other colors. People, the color. I don't know if I said it on here or somewhere else, but if the dogs come from wolves, like everybody says, uh, they're all different colors. There's white wolves, black wolves, gray wolves, brown wolves.
right,
You know, all different colors. So, in my way of thinking, they didn't necessarily have to put, like they say, the white terriers or what all that. Or even black and tan. Some wolves are black and tan. That you don't have to introduce those colors for the dogs to come out that way, because the colors are in their family history anyways. There's
right,
no research on it. There's nobody can tell you one way or the other. And I have a real problem when people go back in the past. Well, they added this dog and that dog and this dog, and I'm talking 1800s or even 1880, 1870, 1865.
right,
In my way of thinking, the fighting dog was already here. They didn't have to add anything to it. And anybody that did, if they did, they're going to revert back to the fighting dog if they threw some terrier in there or some hound or whatever.
right,
So after 4 generations, that cur dog or mixed dog or whatever, doesn't even matter anymore. But I just have a hard time thinking they're going to bring another breed in and use it in a dog, in fighting dogs, when they're already fighting dogs. Why would you do that? You can get those traits from a different family of fighting dogs. So
right,
I'm not one of those that think, oh, they put white terrier and they put this and that and Rottweiler and all that shit. It
right,
don't make sense to me, because when you do that, now you're going backwards. You ain't going forward. You're putting a cur bloodline or a cur breed in. How you going to improve the characteristics of the pit bull by doing that?
right,
When you don't have to. You know, you don't. It's not necessary to do that. Look at all the old breeders, and you look at them. Their families of dogs come from 4 or 5 different breeders. They weren't as pure or as inbred what people think. You know,
right,
they did line breeding, crossing too, probably more than they did inbreeding.
right. What's up, Thompson? I think you might be on mute, Thompson. Yeah, you on mute. Let me see if I can take him off mute. No, I can't. Thompson, you on mute. Oh, he can't. He'll
Yeah,
come
what's
back.
going on,
Okay.
man?
What's up?
Salute to the chat, man. Salute to the community, man. What's going on, Schoolboy 78?
How you doing, brother?
Chilling, man. How you been, Thompson?
Trying to make it, man. You know me, man. Trying to get to the money, live my best life.
Absolutely, man. I see you still adding some spaces over there on the yard, man.
Yeah, man. Big ass project, man. When you know how this thing is.
Okay, okay. Yes, indeed. All right, man. Let me ask you the same question I asked Mr. Garcia here. Uh, the question was, can are colors in the dogs in the American Pit Bull Terriers bloodline dependent?
No, there's a lot of different the genealogy on them dogs. You can pull a lot of different coats on them dogs. You can get brindles, black, browns with black mask, red with red nose. It's really more predicated on the strand and who the breeder was. Because some people, they have a color preference, and if I get a predominant line of dogs that run black dogs, and they may throw one brown or two brown dogs with black mass out the litter, and I'm purposely picking those dogs and breeding them, the reoccurrence of me getting that color is going to eventually become more predominant. So it's not really blood; it's more or less strands with me, you know. And that's what breeders and dogmen that cared about that shit. You know what I mean? Some people don't care. There's some people who just like black dogs. There's some people who just like red dogs with red noses. You know, so it's not really more or less a bloodline. I would say more predicated on the strain.
Okay. Also, another question was, can any line of the American Pit Bull Terriers produce a red-nosed dog?
Yeah, I've seen pure Eli dogs come out with a red nose. You know, that it's in there. You know, you get weird stuff when you start breeding certain lines, and especially if you're inbreeding and line breeding. I think we were Mr. Garcia was talking about that a couple of episodes ago when we was talking about those Boyles dogs and those black and tan dogs starting to pop up when people were doing like really heavily bred family tree breedings. You know, they were getting black and tans. So it's really about how it's being bred. And like when you inbreed and line breed, you know, you start pulling things from back in the pedigree.
Right,
Like my old partner, man, the OG, my OG tell me all the time. That's why he cares about pedigrees and certain things and knowing how those dogs are bred and knowing the family tree. And even if you weren't around the family tree, if the pedigree is accurate and you can kind of get an eyeball of what was occurring in the breedings, you can make the soldiers march from the back to the front. And that's how he always used to put it to me. You can pull dogs from behind and put them right back in front by condensing the gene pool. You condense it and condense it, it has but so many few avenues to pull from. And you start pulling, or what we would call now the throwback dogs. You know what I mean? You start seeing them pop up in litters. It may not be predominant. You may get one or two that may favor that just on your breeding practices.
right, right.
Yeah. Can I
Okay.
say something?
Yeah, go ahead, Mr. Garcia.
I think it's cool because me and Ram, if the people, if you're really paying attention, it sounds like we coming from different angles, but we coming to the same conclusion, you know. And he didn't hear what I had to say, and now he's saying, we basically saying the same thing.
Oh, this Thompson. This Thompson.
Yeah. Oh, Thompson. Oh, okay. Sorry, Thompson. But just think it's cool that it comes out that way,
Right,
which means that somebody's paying attention,
right,
and somebody has some experience. But if you've been around the dogs long enough, even if it sounds like you ain't agreeing, like I said yes, he said no, we're still coming to the same
right, right.
point, you
Exactly.
know. Which that I just mentioned that because I see that a lot when I'm around the old timers and shit. They all
Right,
coming from here and saying this and that, but they basically saying the same stuff.
right, right.
I like that.
Yes, indeed. Salute to ILG Jones, my brother. ILG Jones in the cash app. Much love, much appreciation, fam. And then we got another question, interesting question here. Well, let me read this super chat real quick. Uh, Salute to Snacks B in the super chat, man. Much love. He says, hit the dang like button. What you looking at? Shaking my head. Absolutely. But they always do this on the dogs, man. It's a lot of dudes for whatever reason just be coming over here. They be looking, but they don't want to say nothing for some strange reason. I don't know what's going on with these people. Just hit the like button at least if you're gonna be over here watching, man. I don't know why they be doing that. But anyway, um, this question came in. Uh, a guy says I have a 16-month-old puppy, 16-month-old pup that ruined his teeth chewing on rocks. He says, is there a way I can game test him non-conventional, in a non-conventional way? So let's start with Mr. Garcia on that one.
Uh, right off the top, my answer is no. And I don't condone anything.
Right, absolutely.
But the standard was set a long time ago. There's only one way to find out, uh, you know, a real pit bull is game or not. That being said, there's in other breeds they have their own form of gameness for what they do, like gamecocks and game, which similar to dogs, but hunting dogs and thoroughbred racehorsing and harness racing, you know, even catch dogs, you know, it's different, and it's not the same as a pit bull. But if it's a pit bull, there's only one way to see it. And the fact that they don't have teeth, or maybe they're blind in one eye and all that, that doesn't matter. That never mattered to players back in my day. You know, you could still test them. You might not use them for competition. They might not be good enough for competition. They may be good enough for breeding. I had some that for that same reason, they bust all their teeth out, but I still checked them, and they had ability. They could have been, competed with, but missing those tools, I just didn't take the chance. Sometimes I did, I matched dog with 3 teeth and chipped teeth and stuff like that.
Right.
But for the most part, I didn't. And if I was going to use them for breeding, of course, I made sure they had all the tools necessary, not just gameness, but ability too, and air and all that, But I mean, if you want to get involved in other sports, the spirit of the pit bull is still there, whether it's weight pulling or wall climb. They have that in them, and that's why they can adapt to other things. But you can't ever let it get in the way of the traditional, observance of what gameness is. That's the only way that a pit bull is what it is, and there's just no other way to know or find out.
Right. Indeed. Same question to you, Thompson. To the guy who asked the question, he says, "I see you, Tay. He says that his 16-month-old puppy broke his teeth, messed up his teeth by chewing on rocks, right? And he wants to know if there's a non-conventional way he can game test his animal. I'm assuming he wants to, possibly breed him one day, and you want to check him out and see if he's worthy or not. So, what would be your advice for him in a non-conventional way? Not from the if he's not going to do the historical illegal stuff,
Shit, even if you want to take the dog, that's a fucked up situation to be in, because the dog have all the heart to, let's just say, if you were going pig or badger, coon hunting or whatever, if the dog has the heart to do it, that's pretty much all you can really assess, because the dog doesn't have the tools to eventually accomplish the goal. You know what I mean? Having fucked up teeth, unless he just got a tremendous mouth and he can crunch. I mean, other than that, it's like a boxer with brittle hands or, broken hands. Yeah, you go out there and swing, but you're not doing any fucking damage. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the assessment would be the willingness, but you really can't get a true full assessment, because without the teeth, even if you need to hold that pig, I mean, that dog has to be able to have the tools to hold on, or the tools to dispatch that badger, coon, coyote, whatever you hunting. If you just want it on that kind of testing level, because that's pretty much what in today's era was legal, is a lot of hunting. So you see guys doing that, but I would just be seeing if the heart and the drive and the intensity is there. But like Mr. Garcia said, a lot of those dogs that could be assessed on some level, they end up becoming brood style. The thing really left is, can you produce? And then you got to check that trait, because that's something that he may throw in his productions. More dogs that chew and break their fucking teeth. You know what I mean? So you got a lot of soul searching. I would have to be thoroughly impressed. That'll be my take.
Yeah, yeah. I was See, when you said non-conventional, that kind of like threw me off, because if the dog has no teeth, I'm thinking like, man, like, I mean, I guess you could. I mean, but I don't do hog hunting, but I know some people who do. Maybe you can, and you really just let your dog get fucked up. Really, just let him get fucked up. He really can't defend himself, but I guess you could, you know. I mean, I guess you could like see if he how he handles that, being at a disadvantage, and
Yeah.
if he quits,
Yeah.
or if he's still determined to find a way to take down this hog, that would be a nice little test for me, I guess.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. That it's a, in that situation, it's an all natural situation. It is sometimes the hog gets to him, sometimes it don't. And I haven't been around dogs. I've seen all the ones I was around catch dogs, they would stay there on the hog. But I've seen like videos where the hog hits them, man, they take off running.
Right.
And they're hard dogs. Some of them are, you know, uh, uh, half pit bull or quarter pit bull or whatever. They actually, there's people that breed them specifically for catch dogs. And the best one I seen was he had inbred pit bull in him. He had Mastiff, he had Great Dane, and he had Hound Dog in him.
Mm-hmm.
He was an expert hog dog, and he never really got hurt. Even at advanced age, 12 years old, he could still go get them hogs. But it's just the situation that the dog is in. Sometimes they get hit, sometimes they don't. And there's some that they'll splay them open, man, and they'll cut them deep, and the dogs don't. They don't give up. Sometimes they get killed.
Right. Right.
So that type of dog, it's better than just your regular old hog dog, or even hounds that are not strikers. They just go catch the hog. They really won't hit the hogs until it's down and out.
Right.
So in that respect, they're at least catch dogs are better than your average dog out there chasing hogs.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me stay here. Another question we got was, okay, yeah, this is a good one here. Uh, and I'm interested to get Mr. Garcia's thoughts on this. Why does it seem like there's so much, or there was, or still is so much beef or bad blood in the bulldog fraternity? Amongst dog men, breeders, and everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Why is there so
Yeah,
much underlying beef there?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I hear you. It's you would think because of the how the pit bull is portrayed and how people you know think of it, the misinformation and all that dog people especially would group together, and stand as like a family or a community.
Right,
Some do, but there's a lot of it where they don't. And it all, it's all I can say is that happens in everything. I don't care if it's the music industry or the entertainment, you know, sports. It's one thing, if you talk shit like a fighter does, or basketball players, and you just doing it to get in your opponent's head, you know, psych them out, or intimidate them, or throw them off their game. Because a lot of athletes do that, but they friends afterwards. You know,
right,
they still get along. You understand that you want to win, and you understand that your opponent wants to win. So it's just trash talk to throw them off. But we're seeing more now in all kinds of stuff where there's a lot of hate, and there's a lot of animosity and a lot of jealousy. Why? Because just my thinking, people are putting dogs and their dogs ahead of their family or friends, or what it is they do with the dog. Everybody wants a name. I see it all the time. This breeding is going to change the game. This dog, this stud's going to produce out the yazoo, and
right,
who knows if they are or not. That kind of stuff. It kind of bothered me because there's no way of telling. And 2 years later, after they said that, I don't see nothing about them dogs. You never hear from them again.
right,
But it's just something in people. They have the wrong idea, about what the breed is about. And you should take care of your dogs. You should do the best you can for them. But when they start getting in the middle of relationships, friends, you see it all the time. Friends breaking up over a dog.
right,
There's all kinds of reasons why, but in my mind, is the dog worth it? Because that dog's here today and it's gone tomorrow. And I've had that happen, over dog people. We ain't friends no more, but my real friends, the dogs don't get in the way of it. Because, you know, like I used to say, and my buddy says, and a few other people, you can make more dogs. You know, there ain't one dog that's going to set you for the rest of your life. You may be famous for having one dog, and it may be the greatest dog in the world, and everybody knows it, like a Zebo or a Art, you know, but that is just a dog. It's just one dog. So I don't really know how to answer it, but I just think it's people's ego and animosity. You know, they take things too far sometimes when they really shouldn't. Or that dude wasn't your friend anyway, so you don't give a shit. You know, I don't know.
Right. Right. What's your thoughts on it, Thompson?
Shit, it's like Mr. Garcia alluded to. Is a lot of it's human nature. I don't apply it to just dogs. I apply it to life in general. You know, everybody don't get along. You know, and then you add a little bit of accelerant to it and throw some dogs in the mix of it. Now it's like napalm. You know what I mean? Shit go too far. It's just human nature. Any type of success breeds envy. You know, you don't hear people hating on the bum ass motherfucker with bum dogs. They hate on people who they perceive as successful. So, you know, it's just human nature. You just got to know how to handle it and how to move because, like Mr. Garcia said, it happens in every avenue. You know what I mean? You got a sports channel, you become successful. All the other sports channels don't like you. You know what I mean? It applies to anything. You get a new car, you drive around. Oh, I don't like that motherfucker. You know, it's just human nature. You just got to know how to roll with the punches, and it could get and the dogs it could get pretty ugly. You know, because that's the ammunition that they use. They try to discredit your animals, and in a way, discredit your animals so they can discredit you. They may have not even seen one of your dogs, but you're out here running your mouth like you've been on this man's yard and you own dogs from him. You know, that's just the avenue people take. I said it in the last video. You know, it's a lot of shit talking in life, and there's in this dog game. It's a lot of shit talking. I mean, I've seen the Rottweiler community.
That's true, man. Them show dog people, they're worse than we are, man. not
Oh,
just pit bull show dogs, but I mean show
Yeah,
dogs in general.
they'll blow your fucking house up.
They will, man. They're like terrorists, you know. But you know, and
Yeah,
these
they'll
we're
blow your
talking,
fucking house up. They're
we're
fucking
talking,
nasty.
yeah, yeah. We're talking about poodles and fucking Benjis, you know, uh, all kinds of fucking little shit dogs. You know, they're cutthroat, man.
right.
And you know, like Thompson said, it's human nature to do that. You know, for some reason, you know, uh, people uh, the ones that are doing most of that, you know, they ain't seen your dogs. They ain't know. They ain't got nothing from you. They don't know. And I'll also say this: it's mostly people that ain't never done shit
Right.
or
Right.
very little, you know. Because if you have, you understand everything that goes along with it. It's a hard game. You got to be tough. You got to be
Facts.
game, like you know. And most of them ain't, you know. They do whatever they do. They have pit bulls and they like the dogs and all that, but to really get out there over, you know, a long period of time and really do something, most of them haven't for whatever reason. Could be the atmosphere, you know, it's illegal and all that, but even just working your dogs or messing with them, going to shows and all that. A lot of people don't. They just have a few dogs in their yard. And they call themselves a kennel. They got two dogs, you know, and
Yeah.
just use all the cliches and talk like whatever they read or whatever somebody told them. They're not real dog people, you know, dog men or dog women.
Yeah. Fuquan Goldstone says that it's because everybody says they have the best or breed the best. That's why it's so much beef. Haters gonna hate. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It's a whenever I ask that question and people say it's competition and it's I understand the competition aspect of it. And I know everybody wants to have the best dogs and you know, but me personally, I just never cared about like hating on somebody else's shit. Like, I don't care what it is, whatever aspect of life, it don't bother me. I mean, that's what they do. I do what I do. Somebody else's success never bothered me. to the point where I gotta sit around and let it ruin my life and shit. Oh, he's doing good. Oh man, his dog is great. Man, fuck him. Fuck his dogs. And then make up lies and rumors about people. It's just so stupid, man. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? I just don't understand it. You know, people just cut different, I guess. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It don't bother me though. Somebody else's success, you know.
No, so, even me, nice as I am, people don't like me, you know.
Oh yeah.
There's even people say I was there back in the day and I saw his dog. They wasn't.
And either you go.
You know,
either they're gonna hate or congratulate. It's a two-way road. It ain't really no in between.
Exactly. Yeah, it's one or the other. You know, and it just the way people are. I mean, you should, if you're gonna have something, anything. I don't care if it's race cars or pit bulls. You should feel like you got the best, whether you do or not. You know, your record, your history with the breed will the facts will say whether you do or not. You know, and I don't know who is the best. I know a lot of them that they're good at what they do, great at what they do. But to say one is better than the other, I have a hard time saying that because, you know, they may be at the top today and then lose 5 in a row. And I'm talking in the past, but that happens a lot. I've seen guys win a bunch of them in a row and then lose a bunch of them in a row, man. Just, you know, that's what makes for good competition. You know, somebody catches on or catches up, or they fine tune their shit, and then they come back at you, and you know, a lot of it had to do with the dog too, but you on the losing end, you know. And for me, I just, you know, it was good for the breed in that respect, and it's good for competition. You know, there's some guys don't talk shit at all, even when they're being shit talked to, and there's guys that talk shit to everybody, but it didn't mean there was that animosity. You know, there wasn't that hate. It was just, like I said, they want to get in your head, they want to throw you off. Some guys are calm and they don't want you to know what the hell they're thinking. They're paying attention to their dog, you know, and that's where the focus should be. But, you know, like
those are the most dangerous motherfuckers.
Yeah, they can be, man. They can be, because at the end, when they win, everybody looking at them. How the fuck did that happen? What just happened? You know, this dude didn't say shit. His dog didn't say shit. Nobody said shit, and he walking away with the trophy. You know. But like Thompson said, it's from one extreme to the other, man. They either congratulate you or they motherfuck you. You know, one of the two.
Yeah, it's crazy. And people, I noticed that since I started talking about dogs online, because I stayed away from it for a while. You know what I mean? Because I didn't think people would really want to talk about it. You know what I mean? And but I noticed that since I've been talking about the dogs online, it's so many raggedy ass people with their beefs and shit, and they're always trying to instigate beef. And you know, they'll listen to this show and then go to somebody else's show and ask somebody else something. Like if you, for instance, you might say something here, like we're talking about the color of the dogs and stuff, and they'll hear what you say and they'll go ask somebody else just to start some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that person don't know where it came from, where the question is coming from. So he might say some, we're stupid or whatever. And now, then they come back here and like, hey, this guy, man, fuck out of here with that stupid shit, man. It's stupid as fuck. It's kid shit. Like, get out of here.
Yeah. No, you're right. You know, and that's a good point because, you know, I've been doing this a long time. And even from the beginning, you know, there were people telling me, hey, that's good. You know, you help, you educate, you give experience, this and that. And other people say, don't do that. Don't tell them that. Fuck them, you know. Yeah. Don't give them all the secrets. Well, there ain't no fucking secrets, but you know, it doesn't mean the information that I give can be applied to everything. You know, it's like the feed or conditioning. Nobody does it the same. Nobody feeds the same. It's either good for your dog or it ain't. So when someone says, you know, I feed raw, and other people say, no, that shit ain't no good. I use kibble, and other people say that ain't no good. You know, and it goes back and forth like that. Same with conditioning. The only way you can condition a dog is with a treadmill. Bullshit. You can do it any fucking way you want. So you have that, you know, and depending on who you're talking to, you know, which is my point, I'm giving you my experience. I'm giving what worked for me. It may not work for you. So if you just take it as that, there don't have to be no animosity. There don't have to be no arguing. You know, even if you think what they're doing is wrong because you do it different, you know, that doesn't mean the way they do it is wrong, and it doesn't mean the way you do it different is wrong either. You know, if it works,
Right.
it fucking works, man. Because there ain't no one way to do anything.
Right. Absolutely. What's up, Ram? You want to mute, Ram? He'll get off in a second. Yeah, it's I don't know. Yeah, the dog shit is just crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so much animosity and hate when you don't even know a person, you don't know their dogs. Just constant bullshit. I never
wish
seen
people
so much
would
bullshit.
get along because, you know, it's easy online to talk shit. There's nobody there. And it's
Right.
easy online to lie. You're in front of a keyboard or on your phone. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But 9 times out of 10, and I'm telling you this from experience, those people that talk shit online, when you see them in person, they don't talk that way.
Right.
They don't say those things. They ain't bold that way because
They throw in a whole accent.
Yeah, exactly.
That wasn't me. I'm sorry, sir.
Yeah, that's the way they are. And I don't throw it in their face. I just observe and I say, well, this dude ain't real. He talks shit online, but he ain't tough, you know. And I'm not tough. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying, you know, I go a lot of different places and I don't have to look over my fucking shoulder, man. I ain't scared, you know.
Right.
But
Right.
a lot of people, they, you know, you get them out in a show, you know, a confirmation show or a seminar and shit, and they're real quiet, like little fucking church mouses, you know. They ain't talking all that shit. So just, you know, be yourself, man. You know, if you're a shit talker, be a shit talker. If you're a decent person and you don't cuss, that's fine too, man. But I wish everybody, I wish they would get along better, you know. If you really, you know, care about the breed, that all that personal shit, a lot of it, you know, you should put it to the wayside and concentrate on the dogs.
Yeah.
You know.
People just mind their own business and shit. Like,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
you got to figure, like, okay, everybody on this panel loves women. We all love women, all right? Now
Yes,
let's say somebody in the chat, they like real big women, 600-pound women. Okay, that's their fucking business. Okay,
That's it.
that's his fuck. I don't give a fuck. I don't care. He likes 600-pound women. I'm not gonna sit around every day. Oh man, this fucking guy over here. Oh, you got 600-pound bitch. Oh man, you stupid. You fucking idiot. Man, it's dumb to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My thing is my thing, and their thing is their thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you should respect people for,
right,
you know, doing things the way they want to do them. You know.
right.
I had a friend. He like homely looking girls, man. I'm going. All these pretty girls around you, man. You know, and built nice and all that. They come onto you and you fucking push them away. And then some homely girl come up, you like her, man. You go, that's just what I like. You know,
Right.
That's cool. You know, I didn't have a problem, but that's cool.
Right.
You know, everybody different.
Yeah. Mr. J Dub 20 Texas in that super chat. Salute, fam. Appreciate you, man. Much love. We got Nazaro Watkins in the super chat. Salute, family. He says, "Let me congratulate everyone on the panel. Thompson, you did something similar to what I will do later, adding some Sorrel's blood to my Patrick's blood. Salute, homie." Let's see here.
Appreciate it, brother.
Yeah, Black House Ironworks. What's up, bro? Salute to you in that super chat. He says, "Salute, General, in the panel. Appreciate the knowledge." Hey, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Ram, you there, bro?
Yes, sir.
What's up? What's up with it, man?
You hear me?
Welcome down,
Oh shit,
Ram.
chilling. Oh
Okay,
man,
okay.
cooling. Trying to at least hide
Ram,
in the bitch.
you pick up your puppy?
No, hell no, man. I'm gonna just wait till after traffic. Shit, I'm just now fucking getting done with work, man. God
Okay,
damn, that's
okay.
a thick ass MILF. But
Milk.
you,
Uh-huh.
Hunter.
Yeah, man. But all right, we're gonna come back to Ram after you get done. Ram trying to catch this chick. Well, we can go to this next comment here. Next question, I should say. Let's see here. Next question was, okay, yeah. Is $1,300 too much for a puppy with no papers? He says he's buying his first American Pit Bull Terrier. He wants to know if 1,300, that's the price he was given. Is that too much to pay for a dog with no papers? Let's start with Schoolboy. What's your opinion on that?
Well, when they say no papers, does that mean it's not registered or it doesn't have a pedigree?
I guess he's saying it's the. I'm just gonna assume both. I'm gonna assume he's just getting it from somebody who don't have
Okay.
no registration or nothing.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. I mean, it don't really matter either way, but the price of the dog is what someone's willing to charge, and if someone wants to buy it, they'll pay it. You know, I wouldn't. If you into maybe you're going to become a breeder, or you like you know uh, uh, keeping track of your family of dogs. You like the history. You want to know what they go back to, and moving forward, you want to make sure that the dogs are bred the way they are. Then the pedigree or pay and papers, which are two different things. The papers mean the dog's registered, right? Then
Right.
yeah, that matters. But as far as the price goes, it's just whatever the person selling it wants to put a price on. This is the one industry, or one of them, where it's hard to base the price on the dog itself, because generally the price means quality. A $500 dog is a $500 dog. A $2,000 dog is a $2,000 dog, but it's not true with with the breed, you know,
Right.
because there's dogs being bought for a lot cheaper than that, and they turn out to be real good dogs, and dogs that people paid a lot more than that, and they ain't worth a shit. So it just depends on what you're willing to pay. I would base it on if the pedigree matters to you, if the having the dog registered matters to you, and you want the dog and the guy's reputable, then you're willing to pay that price for it.
Right.
That's always a hard one to answer, man, because how do you put a price, especially on a puppy? You don't know how it's going to turn out. Not just the gameness and all that shit, but just health wise and structure wise, temperament and behavior.
Right.
You're taking a chance. It's a pup.
Yes, indeed. What you say, Thompson?
Well, shit, yeah, it's like Mr. Garcia said. That's a multi-layered question. But if I was just dumbing it down, I haven't bought a dog in a long time. But if I am purchasing an animal, I like clean business. Let's take the money out of it, because whatever people sell their dogs for is what they sell their dogs for. I don't count nobody's pockets. Whatever you getting, if you getting it, God bless you, brother. But the money part out of it, if I'm just dealing in dogs, I like clean business. I want all the documentation that you could possibly give me. I'm spending my money with you. I'm trusting that this is what it's supposed to be. And, that's that. That's just me personally, to each his own. Like Mr. Garcia, there's some people who don't care about that. They just want a good dog. So as long as you guarantee me I'm getting a good dog, and that you can't really guarantee that, but I want to at least know the dog is bred the way it's supposed to be fucking bred. So if it turned out to be
Now
shit,
that
it's shit. If it turned out to be great, it's great. But at least at the baseline of it, I want to know that this motherfucker is what it's supposed to be genetically.
Yeah, no,
So
that's a very
that
good
that would
point.
be my
That
take
that
on it.
Yeah, you should at least have that documentation. You should at least expect that. And I'm seeing more and more people. They charge you a certain price for no papers, and another price for papers. Well, it should be, you know, one price. The paper should come with it. That's just my old way of thinking. You know, if you don't register dogs and you can't register your
Yeah,
dog,
we should expand on that.
yeah, then you should at least have a
We should
pedigree.
expand on that, because why is there that price difference?
Yeah, it's a we say, it's a peddler's move. It's a way to get more money. Does you giving them that documentation, does that make a difference? No. So why are you charging more? The dog is bred the way it's bred. If you don't know, that's one thing. If your dogs haven't been registered and you can't register them, that's another thing. But at least you can have a handwritten pedigree. And if you're charging, let's say you charge $1,300 for no papers, $1,500 for papers. Well, I don't know what everybody else charges, but my registry is $45 fucking dollars. So I don't know where the other $155 comes from that you're going to charge more for a dog because, you know, it's got papers. So to me, it's just a peddler's move. It doesn't increase the value of the dog, and everybody should have.
I seen it up to 1,000 without papers.
Well, there you go. You know.
Well,
I think this one.
I seen it up to 1,000. Oh, it's 1,000 with no papers, 2,000 with papers.
Yeah, I think this one we're talking about is no papers, and it's $1,300. So what would it be with papers? $2,000? I don't know. 25 or 1,500, 17. I don't know. But yeah, that's a sneaky move, man. There's no there's no reason for doing that. You know, it just you made a point that about documentation. That's true. Everybody should have that, whether it's registered and it's an extra cost or whatever, include it, or if it's a handwritten pedigree, you know, and it should come with the dog. I don't get that, man. I don't like it. That's what I'm saying, I guess.
Right.
You know?
What you say, Ram? Ram, you there? You're on mute. Ram can't hear me yet. But what my opinion on it is this: I think that it's going to be dependent on what you want to do with the dog. How much do you like the dog? If you have plans on breeding the dog, possibly one day, and all that kind of stuff, you want to get into that. And I think you always best just get the paperwork, man. Getting the paperwork because, especially for $1,300, I personally think that's too much for me. I wouldn't pay $1,300 for a dog with no papers because I know eventually I might want to breed the dog, and I'm going to want to know and be able to prove, at least on paper, prove where the fuck the dog came from and shit like that, and so I can know how I want to breed it or whatever. But because I mean, if people out here paying $1,300 for dogs with no papers, I mean, shit, that's going. If you're paying $1,300 for a dog with no papers, then the people with papers is gonna be charging a whole lot more. They're gonna be like, "Oh fuck, it's sweet out here." Shit, I'm charging, I'm gonna charge fucking $3,000 for my shit.
Yep.
That's how they're gonna start doing.
I think they're already doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that it's already got to that point, and what they're saying is they're making like the papers make it the dog more important, and my contention is the dog should have the fucking papers anyways, and you should always the paper should always come with the dog, and then set that price at that. Because
because when I first came into dogs, I was getting dogs with no papers. They had handwritten pedigrees when I first got into dogs, and you don't know any better, but the people that I was dealing with when I first came in, they had like lineage on their yard. So I went and did that. And then, you go through phases when you become more serious about the dogs and you start learning your bloodlines and start seeing strands that you like, you meet different people that's in different lanes. And they had the same group of dogs and they had all their documentation and all that stuff. And it was clean business. You know what I mean? There's layers to it. If you just want a dog, I mean, everybody ain't getting dogs to breed. That's why they got animal shelters where you can go and get one for $55 adoption fee or whatever. It depends on what the purpose of the dog is for and what you trying to do in the future with it. So it's layers to that shit.
True.
Yes, indeed. Hey, Ram, can you hear me, Ram? Ram, can you hear me?
He must be spitting hella game.
No, I think he having trouble with his connection or something. Yeah, but I think it's a lot of stuff that sometimes depends on things. Like sometimes, like I know a dude who got some good, well, I don't know if the puppies are good, but I know that the the father was a very good dog, but he couldn't register the father because the fucking father was stolen. He stole the goddamn dog. Well, somebody stole it. I ain't gonna say he stole it. Somebody stole the damn dog, and now he got the damn dog. He over there and he can either put some fake paperwork on it or just tell people, close people to him, oh, it's off of this and this and that, whatever. And it's always some bullshit in these dogs like that. It's always a lot of creepy shit going on, sneaky shit. And then some registries won't register dogs that are they come from frozen semen if they weren't DNA profiled. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you like, okay, well, this dog ain't DNA profile. How you could be full of shit? You could just be, making up some shit. This could be off his grandson or something. I don't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
So,
But that was the whole purpose of the registry, was to keep shit honest. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
That was the whole
Yeah.
point of the registry. People lose
Yep.
track of that shit. It was to
Yeah.
keep shit honest and to track what was going on with these dogs. So just like with the bully community, when they registry got fucked up and a lot of underhanded shit goes on, you that's what you're taking the credibility from the animals. You know what I mean?
Yep.
It's layers to it. Like I said, it depends on what scope you're looking at it from. But if you really love the breed, the registries is for the breed. I mean, Mr. Garcia could expand on that more than I could ever could. He owns one.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right, because like you said, you ain't gonna remember. And even people that I know that fake peds and all that stuff, they don't remember years later. Which it's hard to remember a lie.
right,
Because that truth is always in there. So they themselves can't remember what papers they faked years later. You know, and unless they wrote it down and kept record, and some did, but a lot of them didn't. You know, and it like Thompson said, it's to keep the shit straight, and the integrity of the people mattered. I think more in the past. It did with me. I have a registry now, but I didn't register my dogs, but my original stock was registered. So because I was the breeder of all them dogs, if somebody wanted to register a dog they got from me, they could do it. I just signed the paper. This is the way the dog bred, and they could register it because my original dogs were registered.
right,
I even accept that. If it comes from a breeder, say, hey, Richard, I haven't, registered my dogs in years and that, and, can I do it? These are all my breedings, all that, I take their word for it. If
right,
something happens, comes out later, something stolen, this and that, I just delete the registration, and it's gone, and they can't register dogs with me. So that's about the only thing I can do. But it's to keep record over periods of time. We can go back with these dogs all the way to the beginning until it says unknown from imported dogs where, they didn't know or they didn't put down how they were registered. But from that point forward, they kept track of their dog's pedigree. And another thing, people are slick, so they see a way around it. Somebody got in their head, well, I can just say the dog's bred like this and I can write down whatever I want. There's that. And, that's a fake pet.
right.
They also come up now, well, I'm going to sell you the pup, but I ain't going to have no papers on it. You're going to own it, but I ain't going to have no
Can you
papers
hear me
on
now?
it.
Yeah, we hear you, Ram.
Yeah, we hear you.
All right. All right, my bad. Go ahead.
It ain't going to have no papers on it until the dog turns out. If you want to breed it, then you're going to have to pay another fee later on or some shit. They do all kinds of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Or, we're partners with the dog, or my name has to stay on the pedigree or the papers, even though you own the fucking dog, it's still I'm the breeder and all kinds of stuff.
Right.
So that's how the shiesty, it's just somebody sitting around thinking, hey, I could do this and I can get more money out of it, But none of that speaks to the quality of the dog.
Right.
I didn't care what dog it was. If somebody gave it to me and it's mine to own, it's my dog. And if I bought the dog, it's mine to own and it's my dog. But that don't mean that the dog's going to be worth anything. And you waste a lot of money. Dogs don't turn out, you cull them or whatever. And that money's lost. So you have to expect that when you're getting involved in something like this, in anything. I don't care what endeavor it is. It costs. But that's just another thing that somebody, at this price with no papers, and that's another price with papers. I just don't like the way it sounds. It strikes me funny, strange. Yeah. Not funny, ha ha, but funny, strange. So right. It's a peddler's move to me,
Yeah, people trying to squeeze out that last every little cent they can get out of them dogs. Hey, Ram, what's your take on that question, man? Brother asked the question: is $1,300 too much to pay for his first American Pit Bull Terrier with no papers?
Do we know how the dog is bred, or like does he want like actual registry paperwork?
He didn't specify.
We going off of he doesn't know.
Like you get a
anything.
Dog for me. All right. Well then, yeah, that is too much because you could get the fucking 10 generation fucking poster pedigree from the ADBA for like $70. A standard one, just a single registry, is only like what, $15. So I don't see how he would want to pay that much for a dog, and the breeder of that dog don't want to spend at least an extra $50 on getting the dog registered.
Mm-hmm. The breeder,
I wouldn't do it. Hell. Well, if you're getting it from, a breeder who ain't, want to keep it under wraps, then, he got to respect that. And he should be keeping his shit under wraps too, then, for that same reason. You can't bust Spider-Man out once you find out who he is. That's fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, there's be a lot of shit going on. Sometimes the breeders can't, they fucked up their relationship with all these registries and shit, lying and shit, and doing all kind of shady shit.
Yeah, if that's the case, then yeah, fuck him. Old like George LPK be doing that old fuck shit. I know how dogs spread his shit. Nah, man, fuck that. You can't do no fuck shit to me and not, get that work until we both die. And if I see you in hell, we still scratching, goddammit.
The other option is if it's something you don't like, whatever the deal is, don't buy the fucking dog. Go somewhere else. It may take you longer to get a dog, but find someone who's reputable, got some integrity, wants to give credit to the dogs that deserve it, and the ones that don't deserve it, you don't give credit to. Sometimes people, I want a dog and I want a dog and I want a dog and all that, and they'll do whatever the seller says, or they'll go along with the deal, and they're going to regret it later, especially if they were uneasy about it in the first place. Well, I got the dog, but I didn't really like the deal. Go somewhere else. Find somebody that has integrity, that ain't a fucking liar, that wants to keep shit straight, so, my advice is don't just rush into anything, because who's to say that the person you're dealing with is a good breeder anyways? He's going to tell you that, and he's going to give you all kinds of records and all kinds of facts about his dogs, but that don't mean it's true. If it is, there's a way to check, and it may take time. You may have to get references. You may have to go look at pedigrees. You may have to look at his pedigrees online, or talk to people that know him, know that blood. So it's going to take time. You might have to do a little bit of detective work,
Yeah.
But if the deal don't sound good, don't do it,
Yeah, I had to do that sometime. Like one of the pups I got now. When I first heard it, I looked at the pedigree. I said, "Oh, that's nice." You know what I'm saying? And I was talking to my boy Buck City about it, and he said, "Oh, let me make a call for you and find out if that breed never even took place." And he called somebody and said, "Oh yeah, we did that breeding. The dog is over in this place. Everything checked out." I said, "Cool." You know what I mean? I went and got the dog.
Yep. So, that's what I do when people, their dogs ain't been registered. Are you the breeder? No. Who's the breeder? Good. Give me his number. Have him sign the paper. and then I'll get a hold of the breeder. Is this this guy? You sold this guy a dog? Yeah. Okay. It's like that. Because I'm lazy, so I do some. But like I said, if it pops up, and I don't care if it's 10 years from now, if it pops up that there's some stolen dog or some bullshit, I'm gonna erase it. I'm gonna erase the last 10 fucking years, and anybody that wants to register a dog from that dude or dogs bred that way, it ain't gonna happen. Ain't gonna happen. I ain't the end all be all, but that's just the truth and all that integrity that matters, and it should matter to other people too. And if you don't want people to know how your dogs are bred, that's fine. If you tell someone I sell my dogs, I'll sell a pup, I'll sell you whatever the fuck you want, grown dog or whatever. But I do not give my pedigrees out. If you're okay with it, pay the man his money. If you ain't, like I said, go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely. Yeah. Everybody got their price. That's why I don't knock people when people sell their dogs a lot of money. I don't knock them because I just feel like I might not buy it, but somebody else might buy it. So that's what they want to do, Because I seen a guy. It works in reverse too. Because I seen a guy selling some dogs that I know he can get $3,000 for. And he was selling them shit for $700 a puppy. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what? I'm like, and then I know the breeding actually took place. It's a real breeding. He got the paperwork, but he just trying to get his dogs into the hands of some good dog men and shit like that. I'm like, shit, you better than me. Cause I'd have sold them motherfuckers for $3,000 a pop.
No, you're right. Boyles was that way. He didn't sell it. That was the price he wanted. That was good. His pups, when I first knew him, they were like $300. It's kind of the average. Years later, they moved up to $500. I could have bought what's her name? That grand champion he had. She was an 8-time winner, Queen of Hearts.
Oh,
I could have bought her as a 2-time winner for $1,000. I could have bought Bolt Action or his sister for $800, ready to go. They were grown dogs already.
Damn.
Champion Bullshit.
Right.
He was sold for $250. Dunleavy bought him for $250, and that was after seeing him school, and he was already 2.5 years old. And the owner, his owner, he needed money, and the opportunity was there. I didn't have any money on me, but if I had it, I would have bought him just on, looking at him, seeing him go. And so.
Well, if them prices was like that right now, goddamn.
I think if they were,
Queen of Hearts, shit, $200, God damn, $1,000, as a two-timer,
two-time winner, yeah. And the guy that bought it, and when what's his name? Who bought her?
Abraham.
I think that's what he paid. I think he paid $1,000 for.
Man, that's crazy.
It's crazy, huh?
Man,
but it's all who you know and all who you. If Boyles has dogs now, I'm not sure if he does, but I would bet his pups ain't $3,000. He just ain't that way,
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe they're 1,000 or whatever, but
But when you got a yard full of dogs like that, and you got like just full of dogs, 50, 60 fucking dogs, and you got picked on them, and you so used to seeing good dogs, and you see you got a 1-timer, a 2-timer winner. You just want your dogs to go into some good hands with some people who are gonna do some shit with them, and,
right.
and keep your name alive. But you're not even thinking like, oh no, this dog gonna be a fucking 8-time winner.
Yeah.
He ain't thinking of that shit.
Yeah.
It's just old school dog.
It's fucking inflation, man.
Yeah.
Fucking gallon of milk is $7 and shit.
Yeah, no shit. I hear plywood's $80.
Oh hell yeah, fucking plywood. Oh my god, when I was doing my indoor kennel shit, and I gave my yard guy some money. I gave him like $200, and I told him go get some plywood and all this old shit, whatever. Called me from the store like, yeah, well it's this price for this and this. I'm like, what the fuck? When did this happen? When the fuck did this happen? I thought he was trying to rip me off and shit. I said, man, take a picture of the fucking price, man, and send it to me. I don't believe this shit, man. I couldn't believe that shit. Fucking yeah, a 4x.
I see you ready, right? Yeah. Shout out to that boy Break Bread. He was up there buying lumber, and he was he shot like a 30-second video, and I was dying fucking laughing. He bought some lumber to build a little pen for the dogs, and he just took a picture of the wood and said, "What is the price of cocaine?" I said, "Oh shit,
Man,
It probably cheaper.
man, wood is expensive right now, bro."
Yeah, yeah. So you
man,
gave him $200. You got 2 sheets of plywood and a 2x4. That's what you got.
man. He called me and said he needed another 200. I was pissed. I'm like, dude, you lying, man. I don't believe that shit. And I'm talking about back. I sound like an old man. I was like, man, in my day, I could go and get this and that. And he's like, man, look, you're not that old, man. Listen,
Yeah,
you know, I just cashed out the $200 more. He got that shit, and it worked out though. But I was like, God damn, for some plywood, man, this ain't shit.
yeah, yeah. That's crazy. That's
Shit,
crazy.
a sheet of 3/4 inch plywood is $70 right now, bro. $75, bro. I bullshit you not.
Yeah, yeah, that's crazy. That's
Man, y'all
crazy.
better learn how to build them one sheet dog houses then, like I do. I'm finna start selling them hoes for 150. Shit,
Yeah,
one
yeah.
sheet of the 2x4, that double
No,
my
no,
money.
no, Ram. 200 because you got to put 2x4s on those. And that's another
Oh,
$50, man. You know,
yeah.
I'm
Well,
thinking.
they 300 then.
Yeah, they want
Yeah,
like
yeah,
$13 a 2x4, man. 13 or
yeah.
13 or 12 or $13 a 2x4.
That's
Where
crazy.
the fuck is Hacksaw Jim Duggan when you need him?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
man. Yep.
But on the spoils thing I was mentioning, the other thing is I think one of the reasons he did that too, he didn't want his dogs out there and he didn't charge a lot, but he could always breed to them. They would always come back to him, or they give him a pup or something. So I think that was in his mind too, why his prices wasn't up there, you know. And he was never short on dogs. Uh Dogs that he sold, whether it was Mr. Rogers or Bolt Action or Reno or something, he could get something back on them. So
Ready Red
He
says
knew
I
how to
was.
breed them.
yeah.
When you talk to some of them, you
Go
talk
ahead,
to
Con.
them old breeders, they never feel threatened when you talk to those old breeders because they always have in their mind and like a smirk on their face, like I know what it was to make that. You know what I mean? So they never really
True.
truly feel like they take a loss when they are
True.
like they master that production of animals, man. And when you can play ball like that, it's just on a different level, man.
Yeah. No, that's true. Because they're never short on good dogs. I mean, over decades, they still produce and still produce and still producing. They know how to make them. So yeah, they're not threatened.
Yeah, yeah. Ready Red says I was arguing with a customer over chicken prices, and I told him wood has gone up, everything going up. Yeah, man, it's just going up like a motherfucker. I mean, at least we can still out here. At least where I'm at, we still get like food and shit. Like these puppies, I ain't really been giving them no raw though. I've been giving them kibble. I've been giving them that little kibble. I give them and shit, but they seem to like it. But when I was, feeding
What,
raw to my
lightly
other,
drizzled with duck fat?
I always drizzle some fat or something spicy. I mean, something not spicy literally, but something nice on there for them. Some little extra fat or something like that. I was doing that in the wintertime, but now, I ain't really they don't need it right now. I was giving uh my dog Honey some of that shit at first because her little ass is so active and shit. She didn't want to eat, man. She'll eat like, but then she want to play and eat, play, eat. She just take like little, like one of them badass kids that you try to tell them go eat their food and they'll take a bite off the hot dog and then run back and play. They'll come back get another bite. That's what she do. She do shit like that. But now she kind of settled in and she eat now. Yeah, she eat good now. I start putting some fat on there for her. And she like the taste of that shit. She sop it on up. Yeah. But anyway, man, this is a good show today. Real good show. I'm gonna kick back and try to catch up on my damn sleep, man. Ram, you want to give us a disclaimer?
Hey, man, salute to everybody who came through, man. As always, salute to the fellas on the panel. Good looking out, Thompson and Mr. Garcia, man. We appreciate y'all presence and y'all was holding it down while I wasn't here. So that's a big old A plus in my book. And if you came over here for any bullshit, man, other than what you got today, you in the wrong place because none of this shit is intended for any illegal purposes. And if you came over here for that, or if you using any of this shit we say for that, you a stupid motherfucker. I hope you lose your leg in the next war, bitch.
I'm crazy.
Salute, man.
Hey, salute everybody. We'll catch y'all next Thursday, man. Peace. Much love, Mr.
Peace.
Garcia and Thompson.